Ever since I moved into this new apartment 6 months ago, the #1 question I've gotten on this channel is, how do you keep your kitchen so clean? So today I thought I'd share a few tips on creating a minimalist kitchen. But before we dive into the video, I just want to say a few quick words on interior design and minimalism. And first, I am definitely not an expert on the subject. My personal style has morphed over the years, though it's always been a contemporary look and feel. For years, I actually avoided using the words modern and minimalist because I thought that translated to rooms that were cold and stark and empty and unfriendly. But it doesn't have to be that way at all. Today, I describe my style as cozy minimalist meets warm modern with a little Scandinavian and SoCal vibe thrown in for good measure. So minimalism is really just about simplifying life. It's about getting rid of excess stuff and things that weigh you down. And it definitely aligns with the whole philosophy of Downshiftology. So without further ado, let's dive into these 8 tips on decluttering and simplifying your kitchen. The kitchen is a congregating area of the home, so it's easy for kitchen counters to become a drop-off place for things like purses, keys, mail, and anything else that you may have in your hands. But resist the urge to drop things on kitchen countertops and instead find a permanent home for them. Remember that the front of the fridge is a surface as well, and a very big one at that. So if you've gotten into the habit of using the front of the fridge for notes and calendar items, try using electronic means in the future. The great thing about using your phone to store these items is that you'll always have them on you wherever you go. Countertop appliances like blenders, toasters, coffee makers, and stand mixers can easily accumulate on top of your kitchen counters, but they also take up a lot of space. So really focus on only keeping out the 1 or 2 appliances that you use most frequently, and then store the others in a kitchen cabinet. As you've seen by the multitude of Vitamix videos on this channel, I use my Vitamix daily, and I use my toaster quite often as well. So I leave those out on the kitchen counter. But as much as I love my stand mixer, I only use it every couple of weeks when I'm baking something. So I usually store it down below in a lower cabinet. And then that gives me a little extra freedom on top of my kitchen counters. That's a really nice, clean setting. Go through all of your drawers and cabinets and find kitchen gadgets, appliances, or items that you haven't used in the last year. If they're broken or in bad shape, of course, discard them. But if they're in good shape and just don't serve your purposes anymore, donate them to a friend, a family member, or give them away to charity. Perhaps your style has changed over time, or you just haven't used that item as much as you thought you would when you first bought it. Whatever the case may be, when you get rid of these unused items, you decrease the clutter in your kitchen and you create space for better organization and for those items that you'll use more frequently. I'm a big fan of clear drawer organizers and bins because they always keep everything neat and tidy and you can see what's inside. The ones I use are modular, which makes them great for a variety of different drawer sizes on different widths and depths. And considering I've moved every couple of years for probably the last decade, these drawer organizers have moved with me because they easily accommodate any different drawer size. If you keep your spices in a drawer insert is always a good way to keep your spices organized as well. These can easily be cut to size, and I was fortunate when I moved into this place that my brother cut them for me, but any hardware store will usually cut these for you as well. Dirty pots and pans on the stovetop not only look cluttered, but dried on food is 10 times harder to clean off. So get into the habit of cleaning your pots and pans immediately after you've finished your meal. After I've cooked something, I'll fill the dirty pot or pan with water and then place it in the sink. And then I'll go and enjoy my meal. When I'm done with my meal, I'll come back into the kitchen and clean that pot or pan and then put it away. Now, I will be the first to admit that I'm not always the best at this, but I do try because I think that there's positive reinforcement in always having a clean kitchen, and it makes you want to keep it clean all the time. Invest in cookware sets that nest inside each other. This not only saves you a ton of space, but it gives you all of the different sizes that you'll ever need. I saved up and invested in this all-clad set right out of college, and while it was certainly expensive, I've used it daily for nearly 20 years and it's still as good as new. So investing in stainless steel, cast iron, or other materials that are durable is a smart idea and a cost-effective one in the long run. Lastly, when it comes to decorating your kitchen, simple is best. And while I personally love whites and neutrals and different metals, you can still be a minimalist if you love color. Just be intentional with your color palette, what you leave out, and practice a little restraint. Simple jars of ingredients, cookbooks, cutting boards, and even bowls of fruit along with fresh herbs and plants make for great kitchen decor. Remember that a minimalist kitchen doesn't have to look sterile or unfriendly. It's simply just one that's clean and tidy. As you can imagine, as a food blogger and a recipe developer, I spend a heap of time in my kitchen, so it's really important for me that it stays clean and tidy. But I'll also be the first to admit that my kitchen isn't always as clean as you see on these videos. I just do my best, and these tips that I share with you are also reminders for myself. So there you have it, 8 tips to help you clean, declutter, and simplify your kitchen. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful at all, I would appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up, and I will see you again in next week's video.